So Brad, tell me a little bit why or what inspired you writing the book.
Yeah, so I've been a professional writer and an editor since I was 24 years old, and now I'm 57. And so, writing has always allowed me to understand myself better. It's how I made my living. And so, as I went on this healing journey and started to reach the other side of it, I knew I wanted to write about it, whether that was just for myself or for publication. And more and more I became convinced that there was a real story to be told here that could help people. That the path I'd been on, struggling with depression and addiction that grew out of childhood PTSD, I knew this was more than just a story about me. It was a universal story. Trauma is something we all suffer from various forms, and it just so happened that it really affected my life, and then I also went on a long journey to try to heal and tried many different things. And among the things that really worked for me was yoga, and not just the physical practice for sure. I mean, getting back in my body, but also the spiritual practices, and I learned to chant. I learned to connect with my deeper self, and I found that the Indian spiritual tradition that equates your soul, your personal Atma, with God, and how when you find out who you are, when you ground into yourself, you connect with the divine. And I found that to be more and more important to me, and more of my experience. As I connected more deeply with my soul, I felt more connected with the soul of the world. And so I just felt this was a book that could help people, show them that some of these sacred traditions are also an important part of healing. I think they can be. We live in a time when things are so medicalized, and everything is data oriented, and I think that's benefited us in a lot of ways. And at the same time, I think that connecting with the sacred and finding ways to access, just to be a part of something bigger than ourselves. We get so myopic and so self-focused, and I think part of healing addiction and trauma is getting out of yourself, learning to find humility, find a sense of devotion to something far greater than yourself. And so that's how I see this book now. It also gives a little bit of a roadmap. It worked for me, and it may not work for everybody, but everything that I ended up doing to heal. Let me just read through here for a second. I tried everything to try to heal, and some things worked, some things didn't. But the things I think that I kept coming back to, that brought me the most healing, were relationships with people, relearning how to be in friendships. My dog, I have a deep relationship with my dog. Also, of course, therapy, some types of therapy that were more experimental, but to me it was all about reconnecting with self and others and the divine, or however you think of the divine, something greater than yourself, maybe just the universe for you. But all these things added up to healing, and I hope that that people will find in my story something to connect with that could show them a way forward